When you reduce your carb intake, your body must turn to fat for energy. That fat can come from your diet or from fat stored in your body. This enhanced interest in burning fat for fuel is why low carb and keto diets work so well for weight loss. However, there are two huge mistakes that can block this outcome. I share them in this video. Through YouTube and my programs, I work with a lot of people who are just getting started on their low-carb lifestyle. There's no denying that many of the fun foods in the world are high in carbohydrates, so it's natural to search for low-carb snack and dessert alternatives. And there's nothing wrong with this way of thinking as long as we stay in the low-carb, high-fat arena. However, that requires a new way of looking at snacks and desserts. For instance, while an experienced keto dieter can look at a slice of Swiss cheese as a dessert, a person just getting started with this lifestyle might think that sounds boring and unappealing. That mindset leads to the first huge keto mistake, which is looking for cheats. In other words, how can I have my usual snacks and desserts without the consequences? As the popularity of keto diets continues to grow, so does the availability of snacks and desserts that use flour and sugar substitutes to reduce their net carb count. Now, these altered foods can fill voids when celebrating special occasions, but relying on them daily will prevent your progress because they are high in calories and sweet enough to make you want to keep eating them. You'll be much happier with your results if you adopt the mindset that keto is a new way of eating. When you do that, you open up to new ways of satisfying your hunger rather than searching for ways to cheat your way thin. And the great thing is that your brain chemistry and taste buds change when they're not bombarded by sweetened and refined foods. And when this happens, you will be pleasantly surprised at the new foods that you now enjoy. Also, because dietary fats and proteins are much more hunger satisfying than refined and sweetened foods, you'll naturally move away from the snacks and treats that lead to overeating and the storage of fat. Storing fat is a function that your body wants to do because it works toward preserving your survival. This was great back in the days when food was hard to come by. It's not such a great thing in our modern world where food is so readily available. So when we find ourselves with more stored energy than we need, we must work against this natural survival instinct to lose fat. This reversal process takes time and consistent effort. The good news is that because low-carb and keto diets are so effective for fat loss, you can see amazing results in just a few months. The bad news is that during those months, you will encounter holiday dinners, birthday parties, challenging people, and stress that kicks up your desire for comfort foods. And this brings me to the second huge mistake, which is stopping before you reach your goal. The unfortunate reality is that life will not slow down so you can reach your weight loss goal. In fact, when you commit to a low-carb lifestyle, it can feel like life is conspiring against you. Back in March of 2020, our world got turned upside down. Restaurants were closing and travel was uncertain. And as fate would have it, my husband and I were traveling at the time to visit the great state of Nebraska where my mother-in-law lives. And at the time we went out for breakfast and we were told by our waitress that the restaurant would be closing later that day and they had too many baked goods to sell. They offered to give us whole pies and boxes of muffins to take with us free of charge. It was a gesture that was equally kind and cruel at the same time. And while we graciously declined the food, that day was one in which it was no fun living a low-carb lifestyle. And that is the takeaway. Sometimes it stinks to be keto. High-carb treats will not go away. And because these quick-digesting foods are addictive, it is natural to look for ways to cheat the system with keto-friendly snacks and desserts. But by sticking with whole foods and not quitting before the magic happens, you can enjoy life at your ideal weight, eating delicious and satisfying meals. I realize that we have been through some rough years lately. These unprecedented, less socially engaged days can be an opportunity. I encourage you to take the next 40 days to commit to your low-carb lifestyle. Grab your calendar, Circle today as your day one, and then count out 40 days and circle that day. If you want to know why 40 days works, or you need some solid boundaries to commit to, I have free resources for you on my website, drbeckyfitness.com/free. Thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button before you go, and also click the bell icon to get an alert when my next video is posted. Until then, have a great week.